I actually got a phone call. And that was the first thing I did was I had picked up the phone and checked my messages and didn't have the TV on. I worked night shift at the time. So I actually got up a little later and got a call, and it said essentially it was a friend from Canada who said, praying for everybody down there, and I thought, oh my God, what is she talking about? And so I turned on the television, and there it was. And to this day, I don't know whether I saw any of the events live. So at least the impacts on the Twin Towers. I don't think I saw any of that live, but it was all a haze too. I wasn't sure whether I was watching tape. In some point, when it came to the impacts, and it was just a very difficult morning. For me personally to watch, and obviously for everything that was going on and everyone that was affected. So I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned that, but went into work early, and that's all we were doing. We sent reporters to the courthouse, to City Hall, to the airport, to gas stations. I remember I went to there was a large employer in Fort Wayne. There is Lincoln Re, which is a big insurance company, and they had sent everybody home, and I was doing reports there, and it was just a nonstop, running here and there, and there was a sense of disbelief, shock, and a little bit of panic. People were, lining up at gas stations and all of that, and it was a very difficult time. And I remember this teenager asked me, almost like, what's the big deal? It was sort of, what's going on? And I was stunned to, that I would get that question. My God, we were attacked, And so it was, she didn't understand. She was young, I think, but, everyone else certainly did. And, and I think much like anywhere else in the country, at the lines started forming to give blood, and so little of that wound up being used. There was no one around to accept it. So and to this day, I can't watch much of it. I'll see images and so forth, and I skip the movies that sort of replayed those events. I couldn't go see those. I just didn't want to. I just still find it very difficult to look through and relive, really. And even extended news reports. It's one thing you see clips and so forth, and but I choose not to watch it even now. And I just I change the channel quickly. So I just don't want to. I just don't want to look at it. And so. How has it changed the news business? I think I may come up with an answer as to how that specific event changed the news business, but I know that there's things that changed since, when we invaded Iraq. After, we had gone into Afghanistan, and, there were embedded reporters, and very closely tied to the military, and even the reporters who weren't embedded sort of became unofficially embedded because they knew where they could run for safety, and so the debate over whether an embedded reporter is too close to the military or not, that certainly has been a change, and I would say that also what's changed, I've said this a few times, is that these correspondents and photographers out there, risking their lives to cover the story, they're not safe anymore. It used to be, it seemed to me that well, they were a journalist and therefore they were neutral, and therefore, no, they're just a target now, just like any combatant is a target. And I think that's changed, actually. I think that there was some sort of a sense that these people were off limits. If they had a camera, if they had a microphone, they were off limits. And I don't think that's the way it is anymore. In fact, it's just another score now for the people that the United States are fighting.